When you say teenage, how old are we talking?
Girls who are teenagers.
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart, because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving me. Y'all, I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about. I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're gonna let the camera keep rolling.
This is not. Doesn't even make sense.
Okay, y'all. I was just scrolling through my timeline, checking out some news sources, when I saw this headline: R. Kelly hospitalized after an alleged overdose in prison. Huh? And then there's talk of a murder plot. The story is wild, and there's so much to unpack here. Let's dive deep into what's going on with the disgraced R&B singer, from his legal battles to these shocking new allegations. Buckle up, because this is a lot. For those who might need a refresher, let's start with who R. Kelly is and how he ended up here. Robert Sylvester Kelly, once a global superstar known for hits like I Believe I Can Fly and Ignition remix, but his career took a dark turn as allegations of sexual misconduct and abuse resurfaced over decades. In 2019, the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly brought renewed attention to claims of his abusing young women and minors, sparking public outrage and legal action. In 2021, Kelly was convicted in New York City on racketeering and sex trafficking charges. Prosecutors argued he ran a criminal enterprise to lure and exploit women and girls, using his fame and entourage to trap the victims. He was sentenced to 30 years at FCI Butner Medium 1 in North Carolina. Then in 2023, a Chicago federal court added a 20-year sentence for child pornography and enticement of minors, with 19 of those years running concurrently with the New York sentence. So he's looking at roughly 30 years total, unless appeals or other developments change that. Now let's get to the bombshell that popped up on my timeline. On June 17th, R. Kelly's legal team filed court documents claiming he was rushed to Duke University Hospital in North Carolina after collapsing in his prison cell on June 13th. According to his attorney, Bo Brindley, Kelly was given an overdose quantity of his anxiety and sleep medication on June 12th. You know, I'm wondering what kind of medication they give them in the hospital, in prison. The filing says he experienced dizziness, saw a black spot in his vision, and then lost consciousness. They claim this wasn't an accident. Kelly's team alleges prison staff intentionally gave him too much medication, putting his life at risk. He was hospitalized for 2 days. But here's where it gets even crazier. They say prison officials forcibly removed him from the hospital against medical advice and sent him back to FCI Butner. His lawyers argue this incident shows Kelly's life is in danger in prison, and they're using it to push for his release or transfer to safer conditions. These are serious accusations, but as of now, there is no independent confirmation of the overdose or the intent behind it. If that wasn't wild enough, there's more. On June 10th, Kelly's legal team filed an emergency motion claiming there's a murder for hire plot against him inside the prison. They alleged that 3 Bureau of Prison officials approached an inmate named Michael Glenn Stein, a terminally ill member of the Aryan Brotherhood, and offered him freedom in exchange for killing Kelly. According to Stein's sworn statement, he was transferred to Kelly's unit in March 2025 specifically for this purpose. But here's the twist. Stein says he had a change of heart, refused the deal, and warned Kelly about the plot instead. The filing also claims a second inmate was later approached to kill both Kelly and Stein to cover up the original plan. Kelly's lawyer say this shows a pattern of danger, arguing he is not safe at FCI Butner. These claims are explosive, but they're still allegations. No official investigation has confirmed anything of that sort yet. So how are the authorities responding? Federal prosecutors aren't buying it. In legal court filings, they called Kelly's claim a fanciful conspiracy and said that the court doesn't have jurisdiction to grant his release based on these allegations. Yikes. They argue that Kelly's placement in solitary confinement, where he's been for some time, shows the prison is taking steps to protect him and not harm him. They also say that there's no evidence to support the plot murder or overdose claim behind Stein's statement and Kelly's team filings. On top of that, Kelly's lawyers have raised concerns about his health. They claim he's been denied surgery for blood clots in his legs and lungs, a potentially life-threatening condition. They also say Kelly is so paranoid about further poisoning that he's refused to eat prison food, relying on commissary items instead. His team is pushing for a presidential pardon from Donald Trump, citing these safety and health issues, and they're planning a hearing on June 20th, in 3 days, to argue their case. Kelly's legal battles aren't over. In February 2025, a federal appeals court held up his 30-year New York sentence. The Supreme Court also declined to hear his appeal for Chicago child pornography case in 2024. His attorney, Jennifer Bogine, says they'll keep fighting through appeals, but the odds are tough. Meanwhile, social media is buzzing. Some people are skeptical of Kelly's claims, seeing them as a bid for sympathy, while others are concerned about his safety in prison. The truth is still unclear, and the story keeps evolving. From an alleged overdose to a murder plot, R. Kelly's situation is straight out of a movie. With the genre horror, especially for what he's done. With the hearing coming up in 3 days, we'll be watching to see what happens next. What do you think about all of this? Is Kelly in real danger, or is this a legal strategy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button, and subscribe for more updates on this wild story. Bye!